A third main topic and final one for the episode, we're going to do a match week 16 and a half, we'll call it preview. The reason being is because a lot of the games that are taking place in the FAWSL this weekend are makeup games, one of which I actually have to catch you guys up on, so we will start with that. Bristol City took on Reading earlier this week on Monday, and Bristol City came up with another upset win. They bested Reading by a scoreline of 3-2. This is the kind of stuff that dreams are made of, everybody. To see Bristol City continue to get big win after big win after big win with some bumps along the road is it's so exciting. It makes this relegation battle so much more interesting. And the reason being is because now there's a new team in the relegation spot for the first time, I think, in like 4 months. That new team now is going to be West Ham United. They are now in the relegation spot as of that scoreline. So the one caveat to keep in mind with that is that West Ham have 8 points and are in the relegation spot. Just above them are Bristol City. Bristol City have 9 points. West Ham have 8. The big difference is that Bristol City do not have a game in hand, while West Ham have a game in hand. So that's something to keep in mind. If West Ham can win in their next match, they'll, of course, be safe in terms of the relegation spot. Or even if they tie and they have a better goal difference, they will push Bristol City back into the relegation spot. But if they lose, the scenes that it's going to spell for the relegation battle is insane. And even with Bristol City winning this, it shakes up the bottom of the table and makes it so much more interesting. Let's actually look at some of the other teams that are in the bottom of the table. So we'll go with the bottom 4 right now. So in ninth, we've got Birmingham City. They've got 3 games in hand, so there's a lot to be made up there. They've got 11 points. In 10th, we have Aston Villa with 2 games in hand at 10 points. Then in 11th, we've got Bristol City with 1 game in hand at 9 points. And then lastly, we've got West Ham United with 8 points with 2 games in hand. So when a lot of these games start getting made up, I don't know what I was trying to say there. The points are just going to squeeze together tighter and tighter, especially if these teams are only drawing or losing. Oh, somebody's going to get relegated by the hair on their chinny chin chin because these points are just so... There's literally between 9th and 12th only 3 points separating those 4 spots. That's insane. This relegation battle is going to be something to live for, and that's what makes European football so great. With the concept of relegation, that's the one thing that I like about European football a lot more than American football because, or at least American football leagues, meaning the NWSL, and it just makes it so much more exciting. So that result is absolutely massive for Bristol City. Who else scored for Bristol City, though? Sorry, I totally forgot to write them down right before I started this main topic. 1 second. Here it is. Okay, so who else scored for Bristol City to open up the scoring in the 24th minute? Wellings ended up having the first goal of the game. Actually, scratch that. Harry's of Reading FC had the first goal of the game in the 13th minute, but Reading had the answer about 10 minutes later. Moving in later on to the first half, it looks like... Actually, no, jump over to the second half. Sorry, guys, I wasn't prepared with the people who scored. Perfield scored in the 58th minute to give Bristol a 2-1 lead, and then just 15 minutes later, Rowe ended up opening the scoring to score Reading's second goal. So now, at that point, it was 2-2. And then, who other than Bristol City's shining light, the former Man United young striker, Ebony Salmon, scores in the 79th minute to give Bristol City the final push in order to seal the win. The scenes, folks, to give Bristol City another win is just absolutely fantastic to see. It's going to give them so much confidence, and I can't wait to see what they do for the next games. So, this main topic is going to be a little bit lighter because there's only 2 other matches that are being made up for the weekend. Those 2 matches are going to be Birmingham City and Everton. That's going to be taking place on Thursday, March 11th. At, I believe it's going to be 1 p.m. Central Time, for those of you who are curious or that are going to watch. And then the second game is going to take place Sunday, March 14th at 6:30 a.m. Central Time. So if you guys want to get up early for that one, go nuts. That's going to be Reading and Tottenham taking each other on. What are my score predictions for those 2 matches? We'll start off with Birmingham City first. I've got Birmingham City losing to Everton by a scoreline of Birmingham City's 1 to Everton's 2. The reason being is because Birmingham City, they haven't been playing a ton of games lately, and it doesn't really seem like they're in that great a form. Everton, on the other hand, they haven't been winning a ton. However, I think they've been getting a little bit better as time has gone on. They didn't get thrashed by City at the weekend. That shows a little bit of growth. Their pieces are starting to score. Jill Scott, Valerie Govan scored in the previous week. So I think the cylinders are going to click for Everton in this game, and they're going to win this one by a scoreline of 2-1. So keep your eyes peeled for that. And then the next match, Reading and Tottenham. What can I say about both these teams? They've been both so inconsistent as of like the last 6 weeks. I thought Reading was going to be on a great run, and they were actually going to overtake Everton, but now they lose to Bristol City, which just blows my hair back. And also, they 2 weeks previously they beat Man United, so it's like, what the heck's going on with Reading? But then at the other end of the table, or at the end of the other end of that conversation, is Tottenham. Tottenham were on a really good run for the month of January, and since then they just really haven't performed very well. This match, it's anybody's game, so I'm just going to go with a 2-2 draw. So it's going to be a nice scoring affair, but no winner's going to come out on top of that. So, ladies and gentlemen, I ask you, what do you make of the Reading Bristol City result? I think it's massive for the relegation battle. Does it change who you think will be relegated? Feel free to jump down in the comments below and let me know what you think. All right, so we've made it through all of our main topics for the episode.